From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, April 13th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.52 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,340 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $30, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,835. Antiwar.com reports European officials say they have made substantial progress in internal talks on the Iran nuclear deal. Planned revisions, likely through a secondary agreement with the EU participants and the U.S., are being worked on ahead of Trump's May 12th ultimatum. The potential stumbling block, as always in the P5+1 deal, is President Trump. Trump has made broad demands for wholesale changes to the already signed agreement, and while the European nations can give him some lip service on those issues, some changes simply are impossible to impose at this point. That means a risk that no matter what they do, President Trump may try to collapse the deal outright. Secretary of State nominee Mike Pompeo said as much to Congress on Thursday. In the course of promising tough action against Iran, Pompeo suggested that the U.S. might just have to destroy the old deal and then negotiate a whole nother tougher agreement. That's probably not possible. The P5+1 deal was reached only with protracted negotiations, and the U.S. never really honored the terms of it. It is unthinkable that, if Trump blows up the deal, anyone else would try to negotiate a new deal with him. Pompeo ultimately undermined the whole agreement for forcing new terms on the deal in the first place, telling the Senate that even if Trump ripped up the deal, there were no indications Iran would try for a nuclear weapon in the absence of the deal. Instead, Pompeo insisted that the nuclear deal was interfering with other general anti-Iran measures the administration wants to take. He declared Iran to be a threat to Israel and to the homeland, though did not elaborate as to how. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports Uber is adding a button to its ride-sharing app that will call 911 in cases of emergency as the company seeks to upgrade safety for its passengers and drivers. In a statement on Thursday, Uber CEO said ensuring safety is a huge responsibility. The Uber app will now feature a safety center where riders can learn about key information, including a built-in partnership with law enforcement, driver screening processes, insurance protections, and community guidelines. As part of the major safety overhaul, riders will be able to designate up to 5 friends and family members as trusted contacts and share trip details of every ride. Uber will allow passengers to share real-time locations with a 911 operator. Uber said federal regulators estimate up to 10,000 lives could be saved every year if first responders were able to get a 911 call just 1 minute quicker. On driver background checks, Uber said it plans to strengthen its screening process by proactively rerunning criminal and motor vehicle checks every year, regardless of whether there is a legal obligation to do so. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports Oklahoma's largest teachers union on Thursday called off a nearly 2-week walkout that shut public schools statewide, saying it had secured historic gains in education funding after the school budgets were devastated by a decade of cuts. The move came after the Republican-dominated legislature passed its first major tax hike in a quarter of a century that raised about $450 million in revenue for education. Alicia Priest, president of the Oklahoma Education Association, told a news conference, "We absolutely have a victory for teachers." The strike was part of a wave of action by teachers in states that have some of the lowest per-student spending in the country. A West Virginia strike ended last month with a pay raise for teachers, and educators in Arizona protested before classes on Wednesday without skipping work to seek enhanced education funding. The Oklahoma walkout began on April 2nd and affected about 500,000 of the state's 700,000 public school students. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.